Hello, everyone. Cinephile Mike here. Welcome back to Award Season Review, Season 4. We're counting down to the 98th Academy Awards in 98 days with 98 reviews. Quick reminder before we dive in, make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the reviews coming your way. We are in Shorts Week, a shorter week. So far, I have looked at all of the Oscar-nominated shorts, documentary, live action, animated. But, with such a small grouping, I always love to go back and look at some of the highly commended shorts that have been in the running this season. So we're going to jump off with those. And today we're going to kick it off with the commended documentary shorts. 4 of the 5 that I'm going to talk about today were shortlisted for the Oscars. Those are the first 4 I'm going to talk about. And then the last one is a bonus one that is just fun that I think you should check out. So let's get into the first one. All the Walls Come Down. Written and directed by Ondi Timoner, this film is a look at the tragic and traumatic wildfires that devastated California early last year, specifically a focus on the 86 square miles and over 9,000 buildings and homes that were lost in Altadena, making it the most expensive fire ever in the United States, costing somewhere in the range of $76 to $130 billion. While devastating, the film looks at the community who has come together and supports one another, whether it's searching through the remains of the homes for any keepsakes, gathering together for community lunches, getting together for support groups, and just building connections that, were normally just hi, waving to the neighbor across the street. We also look at Heavenly Hughes, the co-founder of My Tribe Rise, the main activist organization that is fighting to rebuild Altadena for everyone and end the racial profiling in the area. Combining observational footage, talking head interviews, and verité footage, Timoner, co-editing the film with Jesse Gordon, shows a story of resilience, even through the more emotional moments. As we follow this journey, we are treated to ambient music by Morgan Doctor that underscores both the moments of sadness and of hope. Timoner places herself right in the center, including her story alongside the others to give a well-rounded look at the events that have displaced so many. While our usual source for awards information, IMDb, doesn't show other awards recognitions for the film as of now, it did play various qualifying festivals, including Woodstock and Doc NYC. This call to action 4-star film is currently available to stream on the Los Angeles Times YouTube channel. Next, we have Bad Hostage. Directed by Mimi Wilcox, this documentary takes a fascinating look at Stockholm Syndrome through history, starting with an incident with her own family. In Sebastopol, California in 1973, Michaela Madden, Wilcox's grandmother, has her door knocked on by 2 individuals who have been injured. They ask to make a phone call for help, and she agrees. These men, Dave and Doug, injured from police fire at a crime gone wrong, come in and remained in her home even as the police started coming up, and yet Madden remained calm and allowed these 2 men to remain in her home, even with her younger children in the house as well. We learn a little bit about Madden's background and a bit as to why she allowed what happened to happen, as well as its impact on the family. Additionally, we look at the incidents of the Stockholm bank incident occurring that same year and the parallels between the 2 different events. Wilcox, editing the film herself, brings together a series of talking head interviews with her family, recounting the events of that night, as well as archival footage of other incidents, such as the Stockholm bank incident. There's information from Patty Hearst, various talk show interviews, newspaper articles, and images to paint a solid portrait, of what this syndrome is, the history of it, as well as incorporating a lot of modern media clips, like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and The Simpsons and 30 Rock, to show, the spread of the term and the concept and perhaps how inaccurate the term is used. Winning Best Documentary Short at the Florida Film Festival and the Sebastopol Documentary Short Film Festival, Bad Hostage was also nominated at several other Oscar qualifying festivals. This one is not available to stream yet, but it is a 4-star documentary to keep an eye out for. All right, now we have Classroom 4. Directed by Eden Wormfeld, this short doc takes a look at an interesting career move by Lewis and Clark history professor Rico Hillier, who for the last dozen years or so teaches a class called The History of Crime and Punishment in the United States. However, instead of teaching it at the school in Oregon, the class is part of the International Inside Out Prison Exchange Program, founded in Philadelphia in 1997. To that end, Professor Hillier meets 15 students at Oregon Prison every Friday and teaches this class to those 15 students alongside 15 inmates. This exposure gives a measured poignancy to the topics being covered, and Wormfeld takes an observational approach as we check in with the class during key sessions, including the first class, where they just do some icebreakers and discuss the birth of the prison system, through sessions on the myths and realities of prison life, and into the last session where it wraps. While Sean Conley's cinematography captures these sessions in real time and Lawrence LaRue's editing moves things along, we go on a ride where, aside from some voiceover provided by Hillier, we don't get traditional talking head interviews or archival footage about this. We just get to see those interactions recorded with no sense of pretense. And the impressions that are left are quite powerful. A Critics' Choice Documentary Award nominee, the film also won Best Documentary at Aspen Short Fest. This interesting look at a program that needs to be supported more is a 4-star documentary, and it is currently streaming on PBS. All right, the fourth one I'm going to talk about is the last one of these commended ones that was shortlisted, and I am looking at We Were the Scenery. Written by Kathy Lynn Che and directed by Christopher Radcliffe, this documentary short is almost could play like a bonus feature on the next release of a classic film I will get to in a moment. Che's parents, the two main subjects of the film, Hoi Thi Che and Hugh Nguyen Che, reflect on fleeing Vietnam on a very small boat in 1975, navigating their way to the Philippines. And while living in a tight-packed refugee camp, they, alongside many other refugees, were offered paid work to be extras in Francis Ford Coppola's Oscar-winning masterpiece, Apocalypse Now. Going to work as extras, be it, an interpreter in a helicopter, tossing grenades into jeeps, Hoi Thi and Hugh Nguyen reflect on the work that they did, getting to see Coppola, their friends and family, their other friends and the friends' families who were all there doing this work. Radcliffe, working with cinematographer Jess X. Snow, allows us to see Che's parents as they talk about their journey fleeing Vietnam, going to set each day, going about their day-to-day lives now and what they would say to Coppola if they had a chance to meet him, and also sitting on the couch and watching an old VHS copy of the film where they talk about the different memories they have. Radcliffe, also serving as the editor, incorporates fly-on-the-wall footage from the voiceovers, clips from the film, and it really tells a unique perspective from the performers that we don't often hear from. This touching doc, short allows Che to show an appreciation for film as an art form and bring attention to the making of the film. Winning the Nonfiction Short Film Jury Award and being nominated for the Grand Jury Short Film Prize, both at Sundance, the film received several nods and along the circuit, and look, this sweet little slice of a, reflection. It's a 3-star film, but it is available to stream on Vimeo. Worth it if you are a fan of the film. And now for the last one in this set, this is the one that was not shortlisted for the Oscar, but was in the running, just didn't quite make that shortlist. And it's a feel-good one to include. And this is Shanti Rides Shotgun. Directed by Charles Frank, this documentary looks at Shanti Guljar. With over 30 years of experience teaching people how to drive in New York City, she has earned her reputation for tough love instruction. Working for the Empire State Driving School in Manhattan, with a remarkable 99% success rate of students earning their driver's licenses, the only filter that Shanti is aware of is the one on her cigarette. And as we follow her guiding several clients through the narrow streets of the 5 boroughs, her sharp wit and no-nonsense commentary become part of her undeniable charm. Whether Shanti is calling her students lovingly rude names or laying out the realities of navigating city traffic, she somehow manages to put people at ease and elevate their confidence, while also sharing intimate chapters of her life and personal history. Capturing the driving lessons with such immediacy that we feel like we're either in the passenger seat or quietly observing from the back, thanks to Peter Pascucci's cinematography and edited with such high energy by Nico Frank, the overall experience makes you wish you had more than just the 8 brief minutes we get to spend with Shanti. Director Charles Frank gives us a portrait of someone who has such a larger-than-life persona that you would almost expect her to be the star of a weekly sitcom. A Critics' Choice Documentary Awards nominee for Best Short, the film won 2 Best Documentary Short Awards, one for Frank and one for producer Daniel Lombroso at both Palm Springs International Short Fest and AFI Fest, as well as being nominated in those 2 categories at South by Southwest. This charming, amusing, 4-star documentary short is available to stream right now on Vimeo. All right, so there you have it. Thank you all for joining me for episode 74 of Award Season Reviews. We have 24 days left. We're getting down to that crux, so make sure you stay with me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments. You can follow me everywhere on social platforms, on Letterboxd, and of course, head over to my website, cinephilemike.com, for even more reviews and movie goodies. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with the next commended set of shorts, but until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.